Go.
Streaming from South Africa to the world. This is the Stonks Go Moon podcast. What just happened? We break it down so you don't have to.
Welcome everyone to the Stonks Go Moon podcast. My guest today is an author, venture investor, entrepreneur, TEDx speaker. What did I miss? Guy does it everything. He does everything. Sid Mohasseb, welcome to the pod.
Happy to be with you, Rocco.
So you have an illustrious career spanning companies like KPMG. And I thought today to myself, we're recording in the wake of the elections in the US. A lot of companies, we're seeing a lot of startup companies and that are going to go into business now in this new, what we call it, regime or rule, whatever it calls, but business goes on. Kind of what are your top factors that influence corporate revenue and profit the most? What should people focus on?
So there are things you could look at that are mechanical. You could sell, you could do you could market, you could. Those I think there are enough how-to books out there for people to go to and do these 5 things or these 6 things. But all of those would work. Some of them better than others. If the mindset of the entrepreneur is structured properly. And by properly, I mean there is no one way of doing it. This is not, one of these IKEA deals that you go buy furniture and you attach A to B and B to C. We're all different.
Yeah.
So there's been 110 billion people on the planet so far. We have 8. There's been 110 billion people on the planet, and they've all been unique and different. Yes. So the first, I think, element of success is to realize who we are and build what I call our own entrepreneurial philosophy, based on this fact that we have something, all of us do. Some of us have talent, some of us have time, some of us have products, and we are exchanging that all the time because it's in our nature, it's in our genes, with something better. And we decide what that better is. It could be money, it could be happiness, or it could be good retirement, or it could be solving poverty and being philanthropic. We all exchange what we have with something better. The key is to realize that there is risk. That what we want is not necessarily going to be what we're going to get.
Yes, because entrepreneurship is very hard. I often think that it's glorified in a sense, that people say, I want to be my own boss. I want to work for myself. I want to do everything on my time, when in reality, not everyone can be an entrepreneur. Working in 9 to 5 isn't necessarily that bad. And if you're an entrepreneur, it's basically 24/7. It's your chief everything officer.
So Rocco, I want to adjust that perspective, because that's a common perspective that entrepreneurship is hard. Oh, the entrepreneurs are bored. I do believe, and this is the way that the word entrepreneur was defined in the 1700s, and this is what it was. The guy who created entrepreneur as the word was a French guy, and he says it's an entrepreneur is someone who has something and wants to exchange it with something of higher value, knowing that there is risk. It wasn't talking about I want to be my own boss. It wasn't talking about fast talking and bullshitting with people and bamboozling people. It had nothing to do with those. So the thing is, though, we have changed this definition now.
Yeah.
Into this, the key is we're all entrepreneurs. If you are able to make it, but we don't know it.
Yes.
That's the thing. If you can make a decision in your life, that means you have something and you exchange it with something better. You made a choice of working 9 to 5 because you thought that I'm going to get X dollars and this is going to be paying for my children's education, or I want to be having a home that's safer without much turbulence in it. And somebody else decides that, hey, I have something, it's my talent, I'm going to use that talent and create a product, and then I'm going to sell that, and then I'm going to exchange it with something of higher value because money brings me happiness.
Mm.
So we define satisfaction, we define happiness, we define what that outcome is. If we realize that we have the choice, if we realize that we're all entrepreneur, then it's not hard because we are who we are. And it's what do we give in exchange of what we have, depending on the level of risk we're willing to take.
Makes sense. Let's talk a bit about mindset. You described leaders as satisfaction harmonizers, right? So first of all, what does that mean? And how should we apply that to our mindsets?
So what the hell does it mean? So the fact is, if you look at a business, every business is risen on 5 pillars. Doesn't matter if it's a donut shop, a restaurant, or Microsoft, or Tesla. These 5 pillars are customers, employees, the partners you work with, the investors, and investor could be you as the owner, the investors, and the society that you operate within. These 5 pillars hold a company up. And each one of those involves people. So let's begin with the customer. We think we sell. We don't sell. Who has the decision? Do we have a decision to sell?
No.
The buyer has the decision to buy. They make a decision to reach into their pockets and buy your donuts or come to your restaurant or buy a $10 million deal. They make that decision. So the power is theirs, and they do that based on their own reason, which leads to their satisfaction. It's a bundle of satisfaction. It's what they feel is worth exchanging with your company, because they're an entrepreneur too. They like to exchange what they have for something better, and they have their own reasons to do it. Now, we think we hire people. Well, we think we give them a job description and say, hey, here's what you do. This is my expectation of productivity. But they decide in their mind, do they turn it off at 5 o'clock in the afternoon? Or do they think about your business at 2 o'clock? They define how much productivity they bring to the table, how much creativity they bring to the table. They decide, they take the job because, I don't have enough money. I got to pay for the rent. So what the heck, this job is too close. That job is too far. I can work from home. I can be close to my kids. I can be, there's 1,000 reasons people make decisions.
Yes.
But it is their decision. The same thing goes with partners that work with you. The same thing with investors. There are people on the other side, and every one of them have a set of reasoning, and they get satisfied, and that's why they make you revenue. And that's why they lead you to profits, because they bring productivity, they bring investments, they bring the decision to buy. So the leader here turns into the individual that has to orchestrate all of these always changing satisfaction parameters, all of these reasons that are always changing. These are the people that buy from you today are not the same people as a month ago or a year ago. They're different.
Is that encapsulated in what you call the evolving business model?
Yes, the evolving business model, which leads to also an evolving system of measurement and system of evaluation. We today have been pushed by the Wall Street because they want to have a set of metrics and say, your inventory ratio is this, you're this. Those are after the fact. They don't measure your strategy. They just measure the outcome. Well, it's good for them to say that if you did well or you didn't do well. But if you want to have a good business, you have to measure the strategy. You have to measure how that direction is moving, and you adjust and you evolve as you see. Not pivoting, because pivoting means you hit a wall and then you pivot. It's like a dancer figuring out the timing of things so that you can move it in one direction or another direction. So those ideas of I have a strategy and it's for 10 years and this is who I am forever is obsolete. Things are moving too fast. People are moving too fast. Their reasonings are changing all the time. So you have to evolve. You have to stay relevant. And to stay relevant, you have to be able to manage, orchestrate, optimize, coordinate, harmonize all of these different factors that are moving in the business.
How do you know that you're moving in the right direction? Like, let's say you do something that, okay, I notice I can't be stagnant, right? And I have to do something, but also there's that fear of doing the wrong thing, and then that wrong thing being catastrophic.
So that's a very good point. The point is, it's about centered around fear.
Yes.
So if I think Adam Grant did a book and he did some studies about this idea of fear, and he asked all these people, wealthy people, known entrepreneurs, whatever, what is it that you're afraid of? And most of them said, I'm afraid of not doing something, not of doing something. I'm afraid that I'm stagnant and I'm not growing and I've left opportunities ahead of me. I'm afraid that I could have changed what I have with something better, and I did not. And I did not. Well, somebody asked me the other day, what is the definition of success? Well, how do I define success? And I said, the better thing is to ask is how do you define failure? What is failure? Is failure not accomplishing a task? Is failure not moving in a certain direction? To me, failure is if you don't learn from the actions that you've done. That's what you failed. You failed.
True.
You have failed if you do not learn from what you have done.
Absolutely. Last question before I let you leave. It's two-parter. The one is, do you think entrepreneurship is a natural talent? Do you think entrepreneurs are born, or is it something that you can learn as you go along?
I don't think it's a matter of learning. I think it's a matter of discovering.
Okay.
Discovering that you are an entrepreneur. As I said, if there's a Texas A&M study, and they've looked at the gene development in human beings, 500,000 years ago, we developed a gene. You have it, I have it. Those who are tall, who are short, who are fat, who are in Africa, who are in South Africa, who are in England, who are in America, we all have it. Who are poor, who are fit, we all have it. This gene is went one step ahead of survival. Before that, we were trying to survive like animals.
Yes.
That gene triggers us to thrive, not just to survive. To thrive means to ask for something better, to look for something better. The gene is in you. The gene is in me. The gene is in everybody. Yes. Now, the question is, can we discover that gene? And even if you're at work, look at this. I have a job. What do I want? I want to get a bonus. I want to get a promotion. I want to be better. I want to be recognized. What am I doing? I'm changing I'm exchanging my talent, my capabilities to get a raise. Okay, you're entrepreneurial. But the discovery of being an entrepreneur isn't that somebody who is his boss is not an entrepreneur. That's his boss.
Yes.
It's a different definition.
Yes.
So is it something that you learn? It's something that you discover and then you practice.
I like that. The last thing is, what piece of advice would you give aspiring entrepreneurs in this rapidly changing environment?
One piece of it, there's 1,000 things to talk about. But let me give you one that I think is at the core of almost every success. And what I mean by success is whether it's in your business, whether it's in your family life, whether it's you're a game player, whether you're whatever you are. Your success, your progress, your satisfaction depends on decisions you make. Those decisions are driven by the knowledge and the analysis that you perform in your mind. You put the pieces together and you make the best decisions that you can. It may be the wrong decision, but it's the best decision at the time that we each can take. The fact is, 50% of people get divorced, but all of them looked at their situation and nobody went in and said, I want to screw up my life. No, they analyzed it. They looked at the facts. Now, here's the thing. So we can make a bad decision. So in order to improve our decision, which would be the foundation of growth in every dimension that you look, we have to listen. People don't listen. it's not hear or listen. It's not, oh, listening is not in order to respond to something. Whenever you listen to the market, you listen to people, you listen to the news, you listen to the conditions of the market, you listen to your customers, you listen to your employees, you learn something new. This is extremely selfish. This is not that I'm emotionally intelligent and I talk to people and I'm very very open. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you listen, you learn more. If you learn more, your decisions are improved. Your decisions are improved, and it is those decisions that will get you to a better position. You will do a better exchange. You will navigate risk better.
I had a college professor that told me, you can't learn when you're talking. And that's something that always sticks with me.
It's absolutely true.
So thank you so much for joining me today. If the listeners want to go and connect with you, where can they do that?
The best place is sid@mohasseb.com, which is my email address, and we're just launching Rocco in a couple of months. What I call the Academy, which is a place where we're creating to provoke people, not to motivate people, because I believe that everybody can motivate themselves if they have enough reasonings within them. They're smart enough. They don't need my one, two, three. So it's a place where and we have sponsors that are sponsoring 1,000 people on the first shot. So if they like to be on the waiting list, they can drop me an email. You can put it in, and I'll be happy to pass it on and put them on the list.
Sounds awesome, and we'll put all the links in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
And to our listeners, peace, love, and prosperity. We'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
A heart that's been broke, but she's got the kind of fire you can't unsee. The lights of the city burn like stars, a million dreams, a million scars. She's walking streets that never sleep. She says, I'll make my name on these crowded streets, turn every fall into a victory. This town can try, but it won't break me. No, it won't take me down. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. She's a wildfire in the pouring rain, a whisper shouting through the pain. The city roars, but she won't hide. She's chasing dreams on the other side. With every step she's writing her name, a young girl's heart in the big city game. Late night diner, her only throne, a coffee cup and dreams alone. She's waiting tables just to get by. But in her mind, she's center stage, a voice that echoes through the age, the kind that makes the world rewind. She says these neon lights will spell my name. I'll play their game, rewrite the frame. This sound can bend me, but it won't claim the fire inside my soul. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. She's a wildfire in the pouring rain, a whisper shouting through the pain. The city roars, but she won't hide. She's chasing dreams on the other side. With every step she's writing her name, a young girl's heart in the big city game. Every corner's got a story, every alley's got a sound. She's learning all the lessons, every high and every ground. The stars look different from this side of the fight, but she's burning brighter than the Broadway lights. Ooh, yeah. She's a wildfire in the pouring rain, hope, a heart that's been broke, but she's the kind of flame that never fades.